Simplified Chaos, episode 81.
Life is beautiful and full of chaos.
And it can get slightly out of hand if that shit's not tamed.
We're here to share how to simplify the little things to help you lead a more intentional life.
This is Simplified Chaos.
Hello, wonderful friends. Welcome to Simplified Chaos. This is Jillian, one of your hosts, and I'm with my co-host and husband, Nicholas.
What's going on, folks? Hope you all are having a great week so far. We have another great episode here for you today. Jilly, what are we talking about?
Today's episode topic is all about recognizing and celebrating the small wins.
The small wins are so important. When you think about it, we have a lot of small wins. And I think recognizing and celebration is a great way of explaining this episode. So I'm looking forward to discussing more. But before we dive into that, as always, we'd love to show a little gratitude. So Jilly, what are you grateful for this week?
Today, I am grateful for, I feel like this is my gratitude a lot. I'm just grateful for my support system. So my mom was able to watch Lucille a little extra longer, and you were able, I don't want to say to watch your daughter, but you kind of picked up the slack. So I could go on a bike ride with a friend, and it kind of turned into a spontaneous dinner as well. She invited me, because she was making her own homemade crusts.
Oh, did you have pizza?
We had pizza. I didn't even tell you.
No. This is new. So yeah.
So we went on this phenomenal bike ride. But before we went on the bike ride, she was like, "Oh, I'm so excited to show you something." She's like, "I know you'll appreciate this because, I love me food."
That's right.
She was making her own crust, and she's like, "It'll be ready for dinner time." And I was like, "Oh, is this what you're having for
Was
for
it
dinner
sourdough?
Tonight?" It wasn't sourdough, but it was a pizza crust that she made, and it was her second one. And it was in her cast iron skillet. And I was like,
interesting.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds fantastic. And she's like, "Do you have dinner plans?" And then I was kind of looking at her like, "I don't have to have dinner plans. If you mean, do I want to stay over for dinner?" So stayed over after a bike ride, and she had some fresh cucumbers from her garden.
Did she cook the pizza in the pan? In the
Yes. So the pizza crust did its rising and everything in the cast iron skillet, and then she just put it in the oven once it had fully.
So was it like deep dish?
It was.
Interesting.
It was deep dish. It was good.
Does this change pizza night for tomorrow?
So what I was going to do is I was going to eat the sweet potato taco bake that I made today.
So it's still pizza night for us tomorrow.
And you guys can still have pizza.
Sweet.
Or I'll just eat pizza 2 nights in a row. We'll see how I'm feeling.
Rebel you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was really
fun.
fun.
That sounds great. I kind of want to try a deep dish pizza now. We're using our shitty ass cast iron skillet. That will probably smoke up the entire oven.
That happens a lot. But it wouldn't smoke up the oven. It just
probably
smokes up on the stove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's not shitty.
No, I am thankful for our cast iron skillet.
This is our freaking gratitude segment.
Right.
What are you grateful for besides our lovely cast iron skillet?
Friends with access to the beach on the Severn River.
Faux show.
Yeah. So the Severn River is a river that runs near our house, and there's a cool little community down the road that has beach access, and it's really for the community itself. They actually do have somebody who monitors who's down there, but we have some friends who are like, "Hey, you want to come hang out? We're going to go chill at the beach." And Sunday was actually a pretty decent day. It was hot, but it wasn't like overly hot. And there was some overcast. I mean, we had sun and then we had clouds for a while. So it was actually a nice mix of getting really hot and then the sun kind of cooling, or the clouds cooling everything down. But this was Lucille's first go at the river. And we had a little bit of a breakthrough when we were at the beach. And it kind of leads into today's topic. But Lucille hates sand on her feet.
She strongly did not like it.
Yeah, I guess hate is not a good word. It was a strong dislike, but you spend long enough in an environment, you tend to get a little bit bold, and you see everybody else is doing it, And so finally, about after an hour or so at the beach, quote unquote beach, we got up, she held my hand, and we started walking on the sand. And then it was just like, all right, I'm over this. And she was then running around, going from people's property, you know, trying to steal coolers and stuff like that. And I'm just kidding about that. But I mean, she was cool with it at that point. And so I'm hoping the next time we go to a beach that she kind of remembers this experience and is like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and walk on that sand. It's awesome. So it was fun. And you know, all around good times. We saw a lot of good friends. We saw some people we hadn't seen in a while. So It was just a really fun afternoon, just a really chill way to kind of end the weekend. So very thankful that they were so kind to invite us out for a wonderful afternoon.
And it's weird. I'm noticing there are certain places where I go where I don't pull out my phone to document it. And it seems like, number one, is at the beach.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like getting out my phone because of the sand and everything. And I don't really document much when I'm doing bike rides, except for if I stop and I see a pretty view. But
yeah, you can't do two things at once.
Oh, that's horrible news. No. It goes back to multitasking, and I'm really not good at it. But
I'd fear for your safety.
I actually really enjoy the activities where I don't get out my phone, where it's like I know that something could happen or it's just really messy, and it just kind of makes me be even more in the moment and the experience. And it was a blast.
Yeah, that experience was not documented at all.
No.
Which was great. I mean, we forgot the phones and we were there for
4 hours.
It's funny, like with the beach time, 4 hours seems like maybe an hour and a half. Like I looked down at my phone because you asked what time it was, and I was like, holy shit, it's 5:30. We've been here for 3 hours at that point, and I think we stayed until 6:30. So we were there for a good 4 hours. So, and she fell asleep on the way home. I mean, we got a half mile down the road, and that chick was out.
I don't think it was the beach, though. I think it was the people. We were surrounded by a lot of friends.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah,
we were
true.
doing a lot of talking and supporting them, and I was holding their babies. And
there are a lot of babies.
It was just a great community sense there. And I think that's why time flies when you have good people to hang around and converse with. And,
yeah. And it's a very family-friendly beach, too.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of remember us being there, 5-10 years ago, and, we're in our 20s, and it's kind of more of a raging party. But now there's still people drinking and whatnot on the beach. But I mean, there's volleyball going on, and just people relaxing and having a nice little Sunday afternoon. No one getting crazy or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So that was a long gratitude segment, but a good one. I enjoyed that.
They probably tuned out by now.
I know. Hopefully not, because we've got to talk about our small victories, our small wins today.
Yeah, so what brought this topic up is I was watching Lucille, my daughter, and Reese, my nephew, at the same time in Reese's nursery while my sister was vacuuming and trying to get some cleaning done. I was like, you know what? If you want to do that, I'll watch the kids, and things just get done so much easier if we just conquer and just get it done.
Divide and conquer.
Yes, divide. I forgot the divide part. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, if I could speak. So I was hanging out with the kids, and Reese was starting to get tired, and I was holding him, and he's 10 months, and he just could not get comfortable on me. He's a big baby, too. Like, he's 25 pounds.
Yeah, he and Lucille are the same weight, essentially.
It's crazy. Yeah, so he just was not getting comfortable and was like, his head was going back and forth, but his eyes were closed the whole time. And I'm like, all right, this kid needs to pass out. And I was like, all right, let me just try putting him in his crib since he's clearly not getting comfortable in me. So I just laid him in his crib, and I kind of started rubbing him, and he started falling asleep. And then Lucille was like, boob, boob, boob. And I was like, all right. So I put Lucille in the boob in the rocking chair in the same room, and then she fell asleep. And I was like, holy shit.
2 sleeping babies, 1 room.
Who
would have thought?
I just put to sleep, 2 babies within 5 minutes of each other. And I was like, this may not seem like a successful, huge to big, I can't even fucking talk. This may not seem like a huge ordeal to someone. Like, hey, what'd you do today? No big deal. I just put 2 babies to sleep. Like, to me, it was
5 minutes.
It was the small moment of time that I was like, this shit is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, this little small win inside this one room in our house, this was glorious. And Randy even walked in and was like, is he asleep in his crib? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, how? She's like, do you need a latte? Do you need me to make you a smoothie? Like, what do you need? I can do anything for you.
And I think she came down and promptly made you a smoothie.
And
if I remember correctly.
I was like, I'll take you up on that. And it made me think that I know like a lot of us are stuck at home and we're doing a lot of the same things maybe over and over again. And we're not getting out and having these grand vacations and stuff. And I think now it's such an important time to like look at the small things that we are able to do and the people we're able to be with, and then just celebrate the small, amazing moments that are happening all around us that we probably may be like, wow, I'm so getting sick of this, or this sucks. It's like, there are so many amazing things that are happening if we just are open to celebrating them.
And I think that you had mentioned it earlier. I really do think it starts with the recognition, and that many of us don't recognize these small victories or these small wins. And it may be because they just seem trivial. It's just something that's part of your day. And when you really think back and you reflect on, I look back on the other night when Lucille wanted to go outside. We really didn't want her to go on her bike, but we kind of compromised, and she was like, double stroller. So we put her in the double stroller just by herself, and because usually she'll want to walk for like the first half of our walk, and then when we notice her getting tired, we'll put her in the stroller, or she'll bike and we'll put her in the stroller. But we're like, we just kind of want to walk and have her in the stroller, and so like the double stroller got her excited. Chalk it up to a small victory, and we were like having a really good talk during that entire thing. Because I think usually when she's walking or she's riding her bike, we're so focused on her safety because we do live by a road that has a lot of cars going way above the speed limit. But we were able to not have to worry about that, and so like. It was like kind of one of those date night conversations where we're talking about the podcast. We're talking about, a lot of different things. It's a small victory, but I think you just kind of mentioning the small, and this is when we were talking about this episode, and I was like, yeah, this is a small victory that she was able to get in her stroller. And now it just kind of makes me more aware of those different things. And yeah, we have to celebrate those things. That's a high fives all around kind of a deal right there. Yeah.
And I think the more mindful we are and conscious of the small victories, the more we want to win. Yeah. So the more you want to find a solution to make it a great outcome for everybody. Like that whole stroller incident, like we could have, just chalked it up and been like Lucille and just stuck her in the stroller anyway, and she would have got really upset. Yeah. Like her stroller, the single stroller. But you know what? We want to win, like all around. Like that is the end goal, is for everyone to find a happy medium with whatever we're doing. So especially with a toddler, I feel like now is such a great time to celebrate the small victories with Lucille because she's learning so many new things and developing and, trying to communicate her wants and her needs. And yeah, I think it just makes us want to win more when we're more mindful and want to recognize them. And I have a whole bunch that I would love to share. Yeah.
And before you do that, I want to say that it's also you can learn a lot from the small wins. And for me, what I learned particularly about that instance with Lucille with the double stroller is that I get it. It's like she's not in it all that often. When her and Reese, when there's not two adults around to do separate strollers. We usually have them in their own strollers. They very rarely ride in the double stroller. And I forget that, it's exciting for her to get in the double stroller because she's always in the bob, the single stroller. So, monotony's a thing for kids too.
Yes. I remember you saying that. Yeah. And we keep forgetting that because it's like, we're wired one way, Lucille's wired another way, and she can't communicate as clearly as we can. But you're absolutely right. Like, that double stroller is like the coolest thing ever because she rarely gets in it. So just like how our date night that hadn't been on in 4 months when we went on, and it was like, it was so much more cooler and more special. And I think we have to be more aware that not to do the same things all the time with Lucille. And if she is acting a certain way, it's not because she's being cranky or upset. It's probably just because she's trying to express that, hey, I do this all the time.
Yeah,
let's
been
mix
there,
it up,
done that.
Mom and Dad.
Find something else. We can get something else out of your repertoire here.
Yeah.
But the small wins, I really feel that they're important. And I kind of have two reasons why me personally, I think that they're important is if you're looking at it in terms of goal setting, like these small wins are going to help you reach your goal. Like you don't go from 0 to 100. There's a lot of small victories that need to take place in order for you to get to 100. So, I think it's again important to recognize that, even though you may have something where you've gone through something grueling or you're just really tied down on something, but at the end of the day, it's a win and it's helping you get to a bigger goal. I think that's, part of the great things about those small wins. But on the other side, I mean, small wins are great for your mental health. Like if you think about it, these small wins can make life a little bit easier or make life a little less stressful. And, kind of going back to this Lucille example is that her wanting to go in the double stroller and getting excited about it, it makes that whole putting her in the, on the bike or walking less stressful because again, we're not near the road and cars are going by and we don't have to watch her. But it's like, it was just very easy to do that without having to, fight her on what we wanted to do and instead of compromising. So, I think those are some really good advantages of having those small victories.
True. Very true.
So you said you wanted to get into some examples?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's hear some small victories. Again, these are going to sound so silly, but hopefully this inspires you to look at certain things that happened during your day and be like, you know what? That's fucking awesome that happened. So yeah, first on my list was putting 2 kids for a nap down by myself.
You're a rock star.
Yes. My sister vacuumed the house. That's awesome.
That's a small victory.
Right?
Hopefully you're not listening, Randy.
What?
I'm kidding.
I didn't even hear what you said.
I said, hopefully you're not listeing, Randy.
Why?
Small victory.
What?
I'm kidding.
That's good for all of us. We all live in the same house.
Yeah.
I made a new breakfast pancake.
Oh, hell yeah.
That one morning. It's something so small. Again,
Do you get nervous when you make or try something different for us?
No, I get really excited.
Okay. Like you're not like, oh, what if this tastes really horrible? Or you're just like, this is going to be the shit.
No, I'm just going to be like, if there's something wrong, I'll just change a spice or I'll add something else. I got this shit down, babe.
Got it.
Experimenting is really fun. So yeah, I made a savory pancake that was phenomenal. I was on a great coaching call with my business coach and it just filled me up just talking to her and getting great advice and tips just to keep moving forward because, I've been feeling a little bit stuck and stagnant lately. And I keep forgetting that, like, if I feel that way, I need to get help and seek guidance. And that's what I did. And so worth it.
Hell yeah.
I got to see your brother and my sister-in-law, and they have a little garden, and it was really cool to see Lucille pick strawberries and eat them and have it all running down.
Oh my goodness.
The juice was everywhere. Looks like she
had a bloody mouth that just got all over her shirt. Somebody punched her in the face.
So yeah, just seeing her pick strawberries was just like this magical little moment. I've read a book for like 4 nights in a row before I go to bed.
That is a small victory.
Because that was a habit that I was trying to change. I noticed I was getting very comfortable watching TV in the bed before bed. And I was like, this has got to stop. So then I started reading again. And I've been sleeping so much better. So much better. So
notice the difference?
I do.
Nice.
And I had something else I wanted to talk. Oh, I got to have a play date last week and I got to bring her coffee, which is like the highlight of her day. So just being able to share and give to someone is just truly like, it feels good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and another small victory. There is a new mama who joined my my group program.
That's right.
For Simplify My
They
Meals.
reached out to you and were like,
help. And I was like, yes, I will gladly squeeze you in there and give you some guidance. So that was really awesome to be able to help someone else in the food department and planning and grocery shopping, because that stuff is exciting to me. So.
Yeah. And I get really excited for your small victories too. Like, and I think that's part of like sharing it with somebody and, not just celebrating it yourself, but sharing it with somebody who, cares and who's a cheerleader for you. And I love hearing like these small victories that you're having with, your business that you're starting, and just hearing all the positivity that's coming out of it. And I'm just really excited for what the future holds for that, because I love it when you run ideas by me and then you execute those ideas and you see, great feedback from them. So I think, it's more than just recognizing and celebrating, but it's also sharing those small wins with somebody. And whether it's a family member, a friend, a colleague, it's definitely important that you share.
Yeah. And sharing it with someone who's rooting for you and is trying to make you better and not stifle you or, put you down. Like, I think a positive person to share it with definitely adds to the celebration. Absolutely. Good point, babe.
Yeah. So I had a couple of small victories that I was going to share as well. I think my biggest small victory, if that's, I guess that's an oxymoron, but it's the one that's kind of towards the top of my list, is I have a neighbor who saw me hand sanding the farmhouse table that I'm working on, and was very nice enough to lend me his disc sander, which is making my job a hell of a lot easier. And I'm looking back on it, and I've used it quite a lot, but I feel like I would have gotten to the point where I was just going to be done with the hand sanding, and I was going to end up going out to Home Depot or Lowe's and ponying up and buying either a belt sander or a disc sander or something like that. So, it was really nice that he lent me that, and, I'm saving some money. The whole idea of me building this farmhouse table with my bare hands and the tools that I have, it was to save money, but also to do something that was, creative and fun, and, just try to pick up some woodworking. So that's a small victory in my belt there. And then, I'm kind of thinking of work-wise, just something recent that, we put in a proposal. We had a finalist presentation for this one contract, and unfortunately, we were told that we did not advance to, we were amongst like 3 finalists, and we didn't get down to the final 2 pairing. But they were willing to talk with us and let us know where they felt that, we came up short. And to me, that's in defeat, there can be victories. And to me, just that person was willing to talk with us and let us know what was on their mind when it came to the evaluation is only going to make us better. As a unit moving forward, we know what we need to improve upon. And so, I'm not going to let that, and I know my teammates are not going to let that get in the way of us, missing out on another opportunity in the future. So, I think that it's sometimes when it comes to small victories or small wins, you kind of have to find them, because I feel like in those kinds of situations, you need to take away some kind of a positivity. And to me, that's a small victory.
Yeah.
But yeah, my list was very short today.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put it out there. Just the idea of just searching and finding the small things in our day that sometimes we might go unnoticed or don't recognize, because I think we owe it to ourselves, because, it's a hard time right now, and it can be heavy and stressful and overwhelming. And I think we owe it to ourselves just to look for, to find, to make those small victories happen.
Absolutely.
And to share them with someone that you care about.
100%.
100%.
That's right. I love your hair clip, by the way.
Thank you.
What is that?
This is a jellyfish hair clip.
Oh, nice.
My mom bought Lucille a slew of hair clips and different animal prints. And I was like, yep, this jellyfish is going to go in my hair because it's super sassy.
Hell yeah.
It might sting you.
Oh, I need to watch out then. Or you might have to piss on me later. That's supposed to cure jellyfish stings, right?
Yes, I got it.
We're getting way off the rails here. So, did you want to share any resources with our listeners today?
I did not have a resource. So I don't know if this counts as a resource. So because...
It counts. We'll put it in the show note.
It counts. So because the topic, I wanted to kind of help motivate anyone else out there just to seek the positive things that are happening in their day, especially the small moments. So I'm doing a 7-day small wins challenge on Instagram on the Clean and Simple Life, but I did tag it in on Simplified Chaos, and I'm going to be posting some stuff on there too, kind of make it intertwined.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, just to kind of
I shall partake.
Yay! Recognize as many things as you want. Hashtag Small Wins Challenge.
Small Wins Challenge.
Yes, only for 7 days.
It's kind of like the Take Action Challenge too then.
I guess it is. Your Take Action Challenge is to do the Small Wins Challenge.
And how about a quote of the day there, Jilly?
Yes, I'm all out of the order. Sorry, guys.
It's all good. Well, I think I did that. That's my bad.
So the quote is from Samuel Johnson.
Johnson.
There is nothing too little for so little a creature as man. It is by studying little things that we attain the great art of having as little misery and as much happiness as possible.
I like that.
It's very studious.
It is studious.
I like how he talks about studying the little things. When you hear the word study, I always think of like academics, but it's so true. We should study the little moments in our life, studying them carefully.
Practice.
Yeah.
Practice. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Perfect practice makes perfect.
Oh, gosh.
That's what my baseball coach used to say. And, you know, because everyone's like, practice makes perfect. And he's like, no, perfect practice makes perfect. And I was like, it makes sense.
I just don't like the word perfect.
Wise. Perfection, you know, can mean a lot of different things to different people, but I get what he was trying to say.
Quality practice makes a quality team.
You know what? You may have just updated the saying.
Shazam.
Good job.
All right,
folks. So that's going to do it for today's episode. If you like this episode, please do us a favor and help us spread the message. You can do this by writing a review or simply by sharing this episode with a friend. And remember, sharing sparks a conversation. Conversation leads to action. And action is how we're able to live a happy and intentional as hell lifestyle. We want to thank you all for listening today, and we will see you again next week.
See you later, guys.